Also, the birds can do a pretty good job of ruining his combos as well, so it might be tricky for him to go around getting solo kills as we used to see these Kunkka do.
I wonder if the Visage is going to be played mid or safe lane, though. I mean, it's still...
That's a good point.
Because
That's a good point.
they have last pick overall, so they can just see how the laning's being set up by Flying Penguins, and they don't have to make the decision yet, necessarily. Maybe something like a Luna might be okay as well, just to beef up these tanky heroes like the Beastmaster and the Brewmaster in their push.
Yeah, that's a lot of auras coming in, but I like that way. It kind of follows on the theme of the draft, so definitely an option for team. But what are Flying Penguins looking for here? They need themselves an offlaner, it looks like. Who does well versus possibly Visage or more likely Shadow Shaman and another core? I don't really know, to be honest. I can't predict.
I mean, they could put the Dazzle offlane if they really wanted to. It's still a little bit open, but they need some kind of aura builder, I think. Like it's a really good Crimson game, and they don't really have a hero that can build a Crimson at the moment. Especially, Beastmaster Visage. There's so much physical damage coming out between those two. Tidehunter's been banned, Darkseer's been banned, Magnus has been banned. There's not a huge amount of offlaners left in the pool that tend to go for that early Crimson Guard. Beastmaster's already been picked up. It feels like you just need a little bit more team fight. And a little bit of utility.
Yeah. You don't want to put yourself in that box. Let's see. Flying Penguin. 30 seconds on the clock. One last pick to go.
You could pick something like a Timbersaw maybe as well, but yeah. Okay, there you
go. well done.
I just got there in time.
Yeah, right on the end there. I'm glad I didn't interrupt you there for that one. All right, Timbersaw is gonna round up Flying Penguins lineup for this game, and that gives them quite a lot of aggression, good damage potential as well, and another threat for team to deal with. And yeah, it does very well versus his familiars, by the way. Small ticks of damage coming in very quickly. Timbersaw really likes that.
Yeah, they don't really have too much burst damage at the moment on team, and nobody can really lane against him. It's the main problem at the moment. So wherever the Visage goes now, it feels like he's not going to have a good lane, which is obviously what you want up against the Visage. It feels like if Timbersaw can build some kind of like early items, they're really going to struggle to deal with him. Maybe something like a mech early on would be good as well on the Timbersaw. Feels like they've kind of got a little bit of a hole to fill in their draft here on team. I don't really see something that they could pick that would finish off their draft nicely and deal with the Timbersaw at the same time.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation, isn't it?
I think you probably put the Visage mid against the Kunkka.
I mean, we know if Royoyo was here, then Team T would definitely be going for this Razor right now, but it's actually banned out by Flying Penguins as well. So, but yeah, I was going to say, not so much of a gunner hero, I don't think, but I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, the Razor would have been really nice up against the Kunkka mid as well. It's one of the better heroes at dealing with that. So not surprised to see the Razor.
I'm glad it's banned, because Razor's super boring to cast.
It's horrendous,
so
isn't it?
dull.
It's not fun to watch at all. They do have a lot of reserve time left here though on team to play around with. So
yeah, they'll just be kind of even if they decide on a hero, they might just be chatting, like catching up on the gossip, whatever guys do.
Whatever guys do, as if you're not sure what guys do.
No, not a clue. I don't have any friends. So.
Oh, fair enough. What the hell? What are you trying to say? Oh, I'm trying to think of heroes that deal with Timber in lane, but there is not many. As we said, they could put the Beastmaster there in a 1v1 against Timber, but that doesn't sound good either.
I mean, at least the balls would annoy him, but they'd also give him stacks as well. So that's always that thing when you're thinking about Timbersaw. You're always like, these heroes would be but reactive armor stacks.
Like aggro try with a Visage Shaman +1 doesn't sound good into a Lifestealer Earthspirit Dazzle either.
Okay. This is a hero which can deal with Monkey King, can deal with Kunkka, and can deal with Lifestealer. Any lane you put this Monkey King in, he's going to have a good day, and it is going to be played by Gunner, the stand-in.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. I guess it's really good against the Kunkka mid. That's their idea. So in their head, they should win that lane. Pretty hard. Not hard necessarily, but it should do really well.
Yeah.
Beastmaster should do okay up against the Lifestealer. Those balls are going to be really annoying for Envy to deal with up there. But it's this Timber problem. How many times have we seen this where Timber goes unchecked, then all of a sudden you try and team fight, and he's got like a Arcane Boots mech +1, and he just goes crazy in team fights.
Yeah, that can be pretty painful. Gunnar, though, he's been saving up the shards. He's been spamming out those Dota Plus monies to get himself the new shiny Monkey King set with that lovely mask. Look at him.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. It's interesting.
I think it's very cool.
Does it fit the law, though? Because if it doesn't...
Do it fit the law? Well, he's a bit of a trickster, you see, and we all know tricksters wear masks. You know, they're going to be like, oh, it's a monkey. It's just an innocent monkey. And he takes the mask. Like, wait a minute, it's a monkey.
It's like the unmasking of a Scooby-Doo villain, isn't it? Like, hang on. He actually is a monkey. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think I favour Flying Penguins just for this last pick, Timber. I think if he can get a decent... If he goes for Crimson especially, I think it's going to be really difficult for Team to try and deal with that.
So do you know when the switch up in Team happened with Roya leaving? Because I thought Gunner's supposed to be on Flying Penguins. I mean, that's what Wikipedia's telling me anyway. Saying Gunner's on Flying Penguins and Roya's on Team. So
maybe they just changed names to troll us.
just trying to mess with us. That'd be it. That sounds likely.
Actually, yeah, because wasn't Gunner playing with Envy?
They literally
last
swapped.
time.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm very confused by this whole situation. I was just gonna keep my mouth shut about it, but now I can't.
Hang on.
Curiosity's getting the better of me.
What the hell?
This is some Envy tactics right here, where he's just like, we'll just swap.
Because I remember Envy was drafting, and Gunner really wanted to play Ember Spirit. It was obvious, but Envy didn't want to pick it. So Envy gave Gunner captain so that he didn't have to pick it.
What a bamboozle.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe they have just swapped names. I literally have no idea. I wish I knew.
Well, Roya is no different for Roya and Gunner, though, because they're still just, like, playing against each other in the mid lane. Yeah. So, you know, it's all normal.
They just swap around. Yeah, and they're just tipping each other.
Yeah, no problems. No problems. A little bit of positioning up at top. Does Lelis... Wait. At least see these guys?
No.
No, okay. So...
Are you ready for the pure bamboozle by Mike?
This is just the Mike brain going into work.
Oh,
they just spot each other. And, oh, you're behind that tree. Oh, you're behind that tree. Okay. Go about your day, sir. Yes, and you.
I can just imagine a panda standing behind a tree being like, you can't see me.
Yeah, that's true. That's very much not a thing.
Oh, so Envy's actually gone top lane with the Dazzle up into the Visage. Okay. So they've put the Timber in a 1v1 up against the Beastmaster. Sounds very nice for snaking on that Timber, to be honest. Looks like the lane setup for Flying Penguins is going to be not too bad. It's just that mid lane where they can cast a lane up against the Monkey King, which is going to be a little bit of a worry.
All right, so 2 runes apiece. Nothing exciting going on here. Nice civil rune phase.
It's a little bit disappointing, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I always want to see teams just go like 5-man into the same rune and see what happens. Just decide the winner from the start. And these ceremonial drums bashing away as well.
Oh, God. Love some good voice chat lines. I was very disappointed when the TI ones disappeared.
Yeah, we got. I prefer the hero lines anyway. That's what I'm.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
So we're also gonna trying to get this Jingo off and forcing Roya out of lane nice and early here and claiming this lane for himself. I don't really see Roya having a wonderful time in this lane, but he's doing a nice job on pulling the creeps over to get himself CS, which is very important versus Monkey King, so he doesn't get those Jingo stacks off. And yeah, as you saw, the Tidebringer doing a fair amount of work there to help out. So. Will be a pretty high-octane lane in the mid, I think, and probably where our first blood is drawn. We'll take a short look down to bottom lane, a sneaky little glance down here before we get out to the mid, as there's going to be a roll forwards onto Nusham here on the Shadow Shaman, but he's all right. Actually started with Ether Shock as well, just for that extra bit of harass there.
Yeah, if you're playing this Beastmaster Shaman lane, you have to be really aggressive early on here, because the lane's only going to get harder as Timber gets levels. You know, when he starts getting that second point in reactive, all of a sudden he starts to become a little bit, a lot harder to kill and to deal with. So, in these first couple of waves, you really got to try and abuse that as much as you can. Lay the hurt down on the Timber.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, you got Eternal Envy on his Lifestealer with Lelis helping him out on the Dazzle. Meanwhile, Ix Mike harassing him up on the Brewmaster and Sammy Boy playing the Visage. Pretty much even here in the top lane so far.
Yeah, it's really good for Team Tim that they got the pull off though. Okay.
Down in the bottom lane, Brax goes down for the first blood, and Snake King does actually find it. Well, not where I expected. I thought it was going to be mid.
How does that happen? I'm sure that shouldn't happen.
Well, we can have a fight recap, but 2 whirling deaths and a rolling boulder, and guy died.
I mean, I would have assumed the board just slowed them down. What do I know? Come on.
Just got too close to the whirling death, and death did ensue.
This Kunka's doing much better mid than I thought he would as well. He's actually got 11 CS. Yeah, if you see just there, Monkey King doesn't have much armor, and the way that Tidebringer works now,
oh yeah,
it's not maybe not as good as for the Monkey King as we thought then.
Maybe not. I mean, that's what it's proving so far, is he's currently 14 CS to Gunner's 10 only on this Monkey King. But then again, there is a wave pushing under the tower right now, so that should even out. So, I don't know. I think it still remains to be seen. But, yeah, so far, Royo playing the lane pretty damn well.
Yeah, sorry, one thing I wanted to go back to before was in the top lane. It's really good that Mike got that pull off up there before, because it allows this Sammy Boy Visage to be able to get some solo XP in the lane. So Mike doing a really good job of just trying to leave him, letting him get that XP towards the level 6 so we can get the birds out.
Yep, those birds, which are pretty much half, maybe even more of the hero. Very important. But yeah, as we mentioned before, not a great game for these birds. I mean, I think they'll be struggling to stay alive with all of this AoE damage coming down from the Kunkka and from the Timbersaw, especially if the Lifestealer goes Radiance, which we barely see them go anything else these days. But maybe in a game such as this, where his farm's quite hotly contested, he might have to think of another build.
If the Timbersaw can carry him through the early to mid game, though, it should be fine. Just allowing him to have a little bit more time to come online and go for that Radiance. We'll have to see. Depends what kind of, what kind of win, when they want to win this game. What's their win condition this game?
That's a nice problem to have. When are we going to win?
When are we going to win?
I don't know, mate.
Just win, lol.
Yeah, easy.
And this is what I mean, though. The Timber hasn't even put a second point in reactive armor yet. He's just all about bullying that Beastmaster.
Well, for the top lane, Stan King could be in some trouble here. The Grave's going to come out and keep him alive for the time being. And he's actually going to be able to get to the trees. Alex Mike now in trouble. Eternal Envy comes in and gets the last hit. Meanwhile, Sammy Boy comes back to life and starts making his way in. But this rotation from Stan King does result in a kill onto the Visage, which is very important. As we talked about, those birds being about 50% of the hero. And shutting him down before the level 6 is just crucial versus the Visage. So they'll be happy with themselves that they've managed to do that on the side of Flying Penguins.
Really interesting by Sammy Boy, though, that he hasn't put a point in Gravekeeper's Cloak on the Visage. He's actually gone 1-2-0. Yeah. I'm not sure about this 2 points in Soul Assumption quite so early on. Maybe.
Well, you were saying they needed some burst, but that was versus the Timbersaw, and he's not here.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's less about the laning stage and more about trying to deal with the Timbersaw after.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I'm very impressed. Well done. So he goes back for the point now. Okay. Interesting.
After he dies.
After he dies, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe I did need it, guys.
Monkey has 17 denies in this mid lane. Okay, maybe it is, as good as we thought.
Yeah. He's getting his game on now. Gunner just needing that time to warm up. Maybe hadn't played in a while. Needed to get his clicking fingers back.
I mean, he's got that third point in Jingu now as well. So the life steal coming out from that is, the damage that comes out as well starts to get really scary. Reason.
Oh, NA pauses are always the most dramatic. Oh, gee. No reason given.
I love the crit pauses that were happening before. Did you see the Reddit post? Amazing.
I did indeed, yeah. Just turn it off.
Just turn it off.
Brax under the tower. Pushing in and cutting this creep wave a little bit here. Not the hero we usually see doing this sort of thing, but then again, pretty much every offlaner does this right now, just cutting a wave. And I mean, Timbersaw's definitely a hero which could deal with wave cutting, but I think it's just offlaners getting super lazy, and they're just like, do I really want to contest on my CS? No, just go cut the wave. And
the thing is, though, Beastmaster knows that it's kind of a 1v1 down here at the moment, because nobody's been here a little while, and he can't really contest the Timbersaw in the lane. So if he just goes and creep cuts, then the Timbersaw doesn't really want to miss out on the XP for himself. So doesn't really want to deal with the Beastmaster.
Oh, he's found the Beastmaster on Flea here. He's trying to chase in with the roll forwards and will find himself the kill. Brax could not make his way to the creep camp in time, and Flea finds another one.
Yeah, Flea seems to be getting a decent amount of work done at the moment in this early game. 2-0-1. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he is. Spirits can sometimes not work out too well in this kind of non-roaming meta. It doesn't reward you if you're not finding kills, but yeah, I mean, Spirits gets a solo kill on the offlaner. He's feeling very happy with himself right now.
Yeah, he's having a great time. I wonder what he goes for.
Alex Mike, pretty low on HP, and we'll have this shrine to heal up on, but Lelis and Envy are just going to bully him, chasing me around the shrine, and Alex Mike will have to keep on running. The Poison Touch comes out. He's now going to try and get to the creep wave, see if they'll deny him, and they certainly will. Thank you, Centaur. The sacrifice is made. Meanwhile, comes in. There's a Boundless Strike. Can he finish off Lelis here? He's trying to get the range, but the open wounds comes out from Envy. Gonna have to kind of turn around and hit Envy instead, but now Nusham joins the fight. He's got the chains, but Envy's gonna make it away. And there will not be a kill, although Yeah, Boundless Strike in 6 seconds. You bet you know this boy's going to keep chasing this one. As he goes in, whacks Dazzle in the face and kills him. Now it's Envy's turn to Shrine. So he's going to run around the Shrine here, and Gunnar will not chase any further. He realizes that he got himself a kill. He's happy. He's going to head back to mid because Kunkka is getting some CS in.
Gunnar laying in the hate on Envy as well with the tip.
That's very rude. And now, well, the hit's coming in, but there is a boat coming. Flees here. Oh, so much damage coming down. Gunnar gets to one dodge off on a couple of right clicks, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to go down on the same. Now the X-Mike getting X marks up, brought back in to the side of Flying Penguins. And they'll find that kill. Nusham, he's just quivering in the trees here. And Flea just blocks him, keeps him in a prisoner's roy. Bullet to the back of the head style. God, that was an execution in the trees right there.
Flea just walks up to him.
I did not like that.
Flea just walks up to him. All right, mate. And his mate just comes over and smacks him.
Yeah,
right, fair enough.
Pretty much. You hold him down. I'll finish him off. Goodness me, some Gorilla Dota coming out right now as they do get quite a big lead now on Flying Penguins. 2k gold advantage, and look at this CS board as well. Roya now on top and feeling himself very much with those couple of kills he got. And Snakein having a great time down here, just hitting creeps and living the Timbersaw life.
How's Visage doing up in the top lane? Has he hit that level 6 point yet? That's I feel like that's a really big point for the Dire. Oh god.
Ooh.
Oh god.
I was have to look away though to see a double damage Monkey King coming in. This could be a kill onto Snake King, although he has got these 24 stacks of reactive armor up. It's keeping him alive for the time being, and he's able to get this Timber Chain away as Nusham comes in as well. The Hex comes out, a couple of right clicks, and they will find this kill, but Brax might die in response as he's trying to get away. Nope, does manage to aggro switch and keeps himself alive there. Brax will live. But yeah, double damage. Still took a long time to kill a Timbersaw, but probably the only window they're going to have to kill a Timbersaw, to be honest, with this double damage rune right now.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's really important that you get a kill on him as much as you can at the start of the game, because like we said, it's only going to get harder when he gets some more levels online. And, especially with that double damage rune, making it like mischief dodge.
Oh, leaves it a little bit too early. Now the silence comes out. A lot of damage coming out to Gunnar, and they will bring him down.
Nice kill.
Yep.
Yeah, he is trying to get those mischief dodges going, but it looks like Roya might have fake pumped the torrent there just to try and, you know, get in his head. It's all about that mental warfare.
Roll forwards, Nusham. He's be able to run himself away here, throws down the Hex, and gets himself to safety. They'll just continue working on this tower.
And he gets a nice little D-ward. Moves over towards this mid lane as well. I really like how much pressure they're putting on this mid tier 1 early on. Obviously, the Dire really want to try and take this Roche as early as they can. When they get the Visage Birds, you know, you can maybe get a medallion as well on the Beastmaster. Take away one of that, you know, the main TP points in the mid tier 1 towards that Roche pit. Opens up a lot of the map as well for ganking paths.
You know, they try to put on a bit of counter push in the top lane from team, but it doesn't get fortified and chased back. So, yeah, Flying Penguins will hold on to their top lane.
Oh yeah, the Visage went for the medallion, not the Beastmaster, obviously. I'm lacking today. Is he going for the Vanguard? Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Good choice, Snake King. Big fan. Go for that Crimson.
This is very common now, actually, Crimson Guard, even when there's a lot of magic damage on the other team, which there isn't this game. But we have seen these Timbersaws almost always go for the Crimson Guard, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah, I was very surprised Crimson as an item didn't get more of a nerf in the most recent patch. You know, we've been seeing it for quite a long time now. Oh, mid lane.
Yep, we do have Gunnar going down to Royo as they find yet another kill in this middle lane. Flying Penguins really pushing the pressure on hard in the mid. 9 kills to 2 right now. Team really starting to struggle.
Ooh. They smoke and everyone just starts pinging furiously.
Yeah, Brax, though, might get caught out. The Royo doesn't get the X marks off, going into the trees. Brax trying his best to hide, but he is spotted out. And Snake King coming in as well. The X marks is out, and Brax is dead. Once again, Royo finds a kill. And he's having a wonderful game on this Kunkka so far, leading the net worth chart.
Yeah, he has really good supports that can just come mid all the time. They have really good kill potential between them. Like we talked about in the draft, the Earth Spirit and the Kunkka combination. They do struggle with that on the Dire side.
Roll in, pushing back as well. Ix Mike in some trouble here. Doesn't have the ulti just yet. He's only level 3, Ix Mike. So, yeah, he's just going to get slaughtered in the middle lane as he tries to pick up a little bit of XP for himself there and try and get himself some levels online. But
what level's the Shaman?
5.
Has he taken the tome? I assume he must have done.
Must have done. There's no way Envy... sorry, the Brewmaster could be 3 with a tome.
I mean, we talked about this before in the sense that they need to fight around these ults, and if you're playing the Brewmaster and the Shaman both as supports, if they don't get these 6s at a decent time, then the time that you can fight in the game starts to, you can't fight early on. And at the moment, with Flying Penguins just destroying so much of this map.
Royo again jumped upon here. The Hex comes out. Shackles as well. Alex might close in the distance. Can they blow him up? There's a Dazzle on the sidelines. Can't get in close enough for the Grave, though. They find the kill onto Royo. That's a mega kill streak as well. Flea now trying to help Lelis out as he's running himself away. But the Dazzle, he's going to use the Grave and try and go for the TP out, and he should be successful. Nope, never mind. Raw. And that's going to find them the kill. Brax loses patience and just throws down the Primal Roar onto the Dazzle, and they should get themselves a mid-tower with this. They've got a ton of push. They're even going to drop the Snakes for it.
They just got 6 on the Shaman. That's really nice. Really good timing on the rotations from Team.
Wow, that tower did not last long. I mean, that's an aura, that's birds, that's snakes, that's everything coming down this tower.
It's so efficient though with how they played that as well. They smoked up instantly top on the Visage, move mid, get the kill, then just move into a tower straight away, and they're already back to doing something else. It's just one quick move. Really well planned out. And now they just looks like they're going to start doing this 5-man.
Yeah, they kind of need to with the lineup they've got, but they are still quite behind. Only able to find themselves 3 kills on the side of Team and Flying Penguins. Not yet rotating round to stop this, though.
I mean, I'm not sure how you stop this, to be honest. You've got the Kunkka coming. If you can get a good boat off, then yeah, maybe. And I guess they don't have Shaman Wars at the moment.
No, Snake King TP's into this. He's going to get shackled up. Can they bring him down before the team gets here? He's doing so much damage, though. Finally, well, no, he pops to 1, still able to keep himself alive. Chakram comes through. Now the boat as well, but finally Snake King drops it, as does Nusham, but it's a trade they'll take. Roya now trying to get himself away using that Shadow Amulet as the open wounds comes out onto Brax. Brax trying to go for the TP out and will be successful just about.
From Sammy Boy, I think it stopped the Kunkka getting the X off before the TP went off.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Bird, but now Gunner's coming in from behind. Alex Mike's here as well. Can they blow up Lelis? They're going to go for this Dazzle. He does have a Grave available. Will throw it out. So it's going to take a little bit of time to kill him, but he hasn't got the TP. Doesn't have the mana for the TP, so it's going to be a while. And there comes a bound strike from Gunner. Finds the kill onto Lelis, and Flying Penguins bleeding out a fair few kills here at a stage in the game where they really can't afford to be bleeding out anything.
I am very surprised they tried to defend that tier 1.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And it looked like Snake King went in first to try and tank a lot of the damage just as his team was coming in, but he kind of went in slightly too early, and they had a lot of time to try and bring down Snake King before the cavalry came up from Flying Penguins.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Gunner finds another in the top lane, finds Flea time and time again on the Earth Spirit, and wow, that's a lot of tips, but Gunner might pay the price here.
He just Mischief dodged it. See, he did it eventually. He just needed to warm up first, that was all.
That's dirty, man. You just dodged the whole combo with one spell, which is, you don't even have to level it. It's just there. Mischief. What a thing.
Look at all these toxic NA players as well, tipping Flea. Oh my god.
What a horrible example they're setting. Envy could be in some trouble here as they're trying to chase him down. Already used the Rage, but Snake King's coming in, and he's just going to get inside his buddy and get himself out of there.
Yep, well played by Snake King just to come over. Good communication between the two.
Yep.
Sounds easy, but heat of the moment might have got to them.
When in doubt, infest inside your friends. That's a life-stealing motto.
This Brewmaster's all of a sudden level 7 as well. Giving some good space to Mike.
Yeah, he did manage to catch up. I think those kills really catapulted him forwards in these in this game, so it's feeling pretty good.
With the split coming off cooldown again now, they might just look to carry on pressuring this tier 2 bot. They are very strong at the moment with the Visage and the Shaman wards and the Primal split being available.
Yeah, going straight into the Ag Sammy Boy as well, so not stopping for any kind of auras here, just Brown Boots, Medallion of Courage, Helm of the Dominator, and Agabims. Wants to get as many units here as possible.
Watch this tower melt, though, when the glyph goes.
Yeah, it's not going to last too long. The Beastmaster didn't move out of range of the aura. Now just needs to come in a little bit closer there. And I'll leave this tower alone, but yeah, it did take a ton of damage as Snake King comes in to try and defend this one.
Yeah, he has got the gold for the Crimson now as well, so this is the time for Flying Penguins where they can look to try and group up and fight into them in a 5 versus 5 situation, I would assume. Envy went for the armlet as well, so... Oh
dear.
Poor Nusham.
Yeah, they get Nusham as well. The combo comes out with a roll in as well from the Spirit.
Nusham's just trying to defend the dead lane. It doesn't matter if he dies there. It's fine.
Well, Lelis could be in trouble. The focus is a little bit split here. Some of them are going for Snake King, some of them are going for Lelis. He's going to be able to get that Grave off as Snake King gets himself down to the low ground. Lelis, he is going to die at least, so they'll get the Dazzle. Timber gets himself away, and Team should probably take the tower off the back of this, although the Timber will be back to defend it shortly, I'd imagine. Nope, moving his way mid. Gunner's in their trees. Okay, good. I thought I was going to try something on Envy there, but that would have been a very tricky kill to get. As Envy now has this this armlet, and now he's going for the Midas. So I feel like this is kind of the call where I can see this game going late, so now I'll grab my Midas.
Does the Visage have a Helm of the Dominator? He doesn't, does he? I'm pretty sure.
Visage, yeah, he does.
Oh, he does. So, okay, well, the Midas is decent against the Helm of the Dom creep as well, if he saves it for that in the fights.
Yeah, that's true.
And obviously the Lifestealer does really well with the attack speed anyway.
Oh, mid lane Envy could be in some trouble here as he's going to pop that rage. There's a lot of heroes coming in. The Roar comes through from Braxa as well.
Oh,
they're
cut down the tree!
But in they come, and they're going to be able to blow them up really quickly. Envy is down. Snake King graved up as well. He's not particularly healthy, but the boat does help keep himself alive. No back himself away. Lelis, meanwhile, he's going to go down again. The Dazzle takes yet another fall, as they will find 2 kills in the middle lane for Team, and this aggressive lineup finally getting the ball rolling, as they're just finding kill after kill around this map. And now they're going to go for Roshan. Next objective wants to be ticked off the box. Is there going to be a response, though?
It definitely feels like Team have got like an objective list in front of them, right?
Yeah, right.
And they're just going down and ticking them off one by one.
Well, they're grouping up on the side of Flying Penguins, but someone's gone in a little bit too early, and this will be the Timbersaw. Snaking needs to get himself away. Beautiful Torrent, 4-man Torrent, follow it up with a Magnetize as well. They've got everybody in this. IX Mike's going to drop as well. Nushan buying back straight into his fight, but Brax is gone. A beautiful initiation from Flying Penguins. Can they get more? Gunnar, low HP, sitting to the side here, but Flea, he is hunting. It does manage to dodge it with the mischief. Gunnar up onto the high ground. Sammy Boy will not be so lucky to be able to make it there. Gunnar going for the TP out. Flea, is he going to find him? No, he's not. It's an ultra kill for Eternal Envy as Flying Penguins fly straight over Team's head and take a beautiful fight.
Can they get Roche though before the whole of Team are back up again? Because they don't take it particularly quickly. They're going to have to be really careful here. They've used everything already as well. So if
yeah, they got this. There's no one coming in. I mean, there was no one coming to that. I don't think they had any attention on the side of Team of fighting that one. I mean, they're still without their Visage as well, who's a massive part of their lineup. So
come on, man, I'm just trying to make it sound dramatic. Give me a break.
Fake hype. Get out.
This Earth Spirit's doing so much work as well. What's his score on the Earth Spirit? 3-2. Is that 3-2-11? He's almost got a Vessel as well, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 kills, 2 assists, 11 assists.
That Vessel's going to be so key against the Monkey King as well with the Jingu. Kind of forces Gunnar to go for that BKB in the fights.
Lelis gets hunted down by Gunnar.
Poor Lelis again.
Yeah.
Feels like he's been the punching bag this game.
How many deaths has he had? 1 and 6. Not so bad. I mean, you know, IX Mike sitting with him with 0 and 5, so... It's a rough game for supports, that's for sure. I mean, both teams have a ton of pick-offs, so if anybody's slightly out of position, they will get punished for it. And even if you're not out of position, you're probably just going to get punished for existing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this Kunkka has a BKB now as well, though, so with Envy having the rage up, BKB on the Kunkka, it's not going to be easy for Team to take these 5-on-5 engagements now. That Roche fight, losing that one seems to have really hurt them.
Go long with that rock. That will result in a kill onto IX Mike. Nice hunt down there from Envy there, just waiting for him to come for that rune and punishing him for his greed.
Nice to Alex as well. And he goes back to base just to heal up. Yep. Yeah, it feels really bad when you play these kind of early game tempo lineups with the Visage, the Shaman, the Beastmaster, and then you don't get the first Roche. It really hurts the tempo that you want to play the game.
Yeah, because not only does it take an objective away from you, but it gives the enemy the perfect objective for dealing with you.
It's so hard to fight into that Aegis as well, especially when it's on somebody like the Lifestealer.
Mid lane, there comes the... Nope. Okay, Snake King's just going to walk away. This guy's really hard to kill, so...
Is anybody going for a Vessel on the Dire side against this Timbersaw? It doesn't feel like they are.
I haven't seen anybody.
Is the Shaman building it? No. They don't really have a Vessel builder, unless Mike's building it, but... Like, none of their heroes... Maybe Beastmaster, but... Oh, he does have a Vessel on the Beastmaster,
yeah,
right,
okay.
Vessel
on Beastmaster. We found it in the end. Took a bit of searching.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you would normally see on a Beastmaster, but... They really do need one this game.
Yeah, you want to limit that Timbersaw's healing. So it makes perfect sense. These must come into push, but they'll just use this X mark with Snake. Is he going to use the global chakram? Oh, you know it.
Oh no, these trees.
The trees. This is Timbersaw's dream right here.
You know, like TI when they have the predictions where like, how many trees are going to be destroyed this game?
Yeah.
Somebody's crying as that chakram just flies across the map.
They're ruining everybody's hopes and dreams.
Oh, Gunnar went for a Midas on Monkey King.
Okay, okay. Wait,
did
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
I guess I think he's realised now that this game isn't going to go the way they want it to.
Yeah, you missed that Roshan, and all of a sudden you're like, how do we do this now?
I'm not sold on this. The problem is that the more they go late, I guess their late game isn't too bad.
Nice dodge there from Gunnar. Very heads up, keeping his eye on that map, and great map awareness there to avoid these ganks.
All he needs is level 25 on Monkey King with the extra armor. And he's fine.
Yeah.
Just get level 25.
Only level 25.
Easy.
Not too far.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Envy just sitting with his Aegis though. It's a lifestealer with an Aegis, you know. Even though he's only got an armlet and a hand of Midas, it's still very unappealing to jump on this guy.
He's about 100 gold off his Deso though on EE, so
just wants to buy up the full thing as well. Keep him guessing. Always a good law.
I like that we're seeing the physical damage lifestealer this game as well. I feel like this Radiance build, although it's nice sometimes, it's definitely not nice every single game. Is that Nusham trying to defend a tower again? Oh no, just pushing waves.
Just, I don't know, in mid, hanging out with his buddies. Sammy boy, he's going to TP out. There's no cancel on snaking. I don't think, no.
Oh, torrent. Tries to get the birds. Oh, cleave off the creeps. What the hell?
Missed.
Oh, we got the bird.
You got a bird.
Okay, well, I mean that's worth.
Yeah. That's 100 gold cleave, easy.
Oh, we had an arcane rune as well. I wondered why Tidebringer was hitting so often. I was getting bamboozled. Oh, go on, hit the torrent. Oh. I think he might. Did he drop the Helm of the Dom?
I think he might.
Did he just get a new creep?
He just got a new creep.
God damn.
Wait, if you drop it, does the creep die immediately?
It used to. I don't know if it still does. I assume it does.
Imagine it does. Otherwise, you could just stack it. Do you remember that like ancient defending stuff?
The ancient defending stuff.
Yeah, where they just like hoarded Helm the Dominators with mega creeps and placed them around the ancient. It was like some weird Chinese match, and they like banned dropping Helm the Dominator and keeping a creep afterwards. So that was a thing. Well, finally, the Aegis runs out. Well, until Lenvy and Team have an opportunity to make some plays here. Immediately buying that smoke on Nusham and probably looking for some action right now. Yeah. But then again, with this Midas on your Monkey King, is action what they're after?
You can fight if you get the chance, but it's really difficult. And like the Lifestealer, the Timber, and the Conqueror are all so difficult to kill. It feels like the only times they've won fights is when they've managed to pick one of them off alone. Like down in that bot lane when Snaking kind of went in before the rest of his team arrived, for example. When these 5-on-5s actually kick off, they don't really have the damage, especially when the Crimson comes out from the Timber. It's very difficult.
Coming up onto the high ground now, Royo, yeah.
He's going for an AC on the Kunkka as well. I mean, there's just going to be so much... They're just going to be so tanky.
Yeah, they're going to be ripped.
They've been hitting the gym.
Well, back themselves away, and there's still no action happening. I feel like these guys are kind of playing around each other now, skirting around the edges of a fight, just kind of eyeing each other up and waiting to go in. It's very tense.
Yeah, it's very scary. The thing is, if you take a bad fight now on Team, I feel like the game's going to be pretty hard for them.
They're really searching hard for Snaking here, but he's a bit of an awkward kill. They're going to drop these birds to keep him locked down for now. Now the Balance Strike comes in. He's just getting these reactive armor strikes. So now coming back in as a rock comes flying through, and they have to back themselves up. The Crimson Guard comes off. They manage to catch Gunnar behind. The boat comes in as well. They get the kill onto the Monkey King. We're popping that BKB and just laying into these... Oh, no, back on the other side of the fight. They've actually got... who's this inside? It's Flea who gets brought down inside of those snakes. Placed perfectly on the high ground. Going to split up the fight. Kunkka, he's caught off alone. They can't get through the snakes, and Royo's going to die as well. Team actually turn this one around despite losing their Monkey King and find themselves 2 kills in return.
That fight looks so good.
Envy, what's he doing here?
Does he need to invest into something? Get in the Visage creep.
Risky move. He doesn't manage to get himself away though. There's no follow through from Team.
That fight looks so good for Flying Penguins when the Timber survived, but they just decided to run high ground where the vision from Team was up on that high ground. So they just saw everything.
Well. Oh, that's going to be an interrupted Timber chain, and he's getting kind of low on the side of Timbersaw here. Nusham going in with the shackles, but he is going to pay with his life as Envy just tears him a new one. And Soaking, nope, not going to get himself away. Envy just running away, but turns around onto Ix Mike, and Ix Mike is going to get his oranges peeled by Eternal Envy here.
Snaking ball back as well.
Brax fighting it up, although this... Oh, God! That is the threat of the Visage. The triple birds coming into play as Envy just chasing for more. Brax being run down here, trying to turn this one around with the axes, but it's not going to happen. He's going to get killed. And, well, Sammy Boy getting those birds away as in comes the ultimate from Gunnar. They're turning around Envy. He's gone too far. Snaking tries to help out his carry, but it's a little bit too late, and the tip's coming out right now.
Perfect chain stuns from Team as well, with the boundless strike into the bird drops from Sammy Boy. Envy kind of getting a little bit over-aggressive there.
Man, we were waiting for this game to kind of kick off again because we had a lot of action at the start and the early mid, and then it kind of got a little bit quiet. And now this game's kicking back into pace again as these two teams just brawl.
That's a buyback from Snaking in that fight as well, so that's going to put him further away from his Greaves. I really feel like he needs a Yules or some way of purging off this vessel that's coming out. Yes, he's going to have the Greaves, but I mean, having 2 purges would be, you know, I still feel like that's fine. You know, the Yules would be really nice to interrupt the Shaman Shackles, for example, as well. Takes off the Jingu from the Monkey King. If you want to use the Yules aggressively.
2 purges, wouldn't that be great? Twice
Double
the patch
weatherman.
analysis, yeah.
Oh.
Question is, would a stream with 2 purges be twice as long on analysis or half as long because I get through it quicker?
It would definitely be 10 times as long because they'd have too many ideas to bounce off each other.
True,
so they would just talk forever.
Be an endless void. The never-ending stream, because they wouldn't finish the first patch analysis before the next patch analysis dropped. So,
and then they could take turns sleeping as well. So the stream would just never end.
It's the dream world we all desire to live in. One day cleaning will come out and that'll be reality, but until then we're stuck with 1 purge. Anyway, Snaking clearing out some creeps in the middle lane, now going for these Greaves, nearly there as well, only 500 gold to go as that rapid ping has come out in the middle lane. Now, that was from Flea, I think, so I don't know. There is a Hawk here.
Oh, they have the medallion on Flea as well.
There's actually 2 Hawks here. There's a plethora of Hawks surrounding Roshan.
Yeah, it's really important whenever you have a Beastmaster on your team, just to make sure you have eyes on that Roshan pit all the time when it's up.
Oh, team, they're ready. Look at these guys. They're ready to rock as immediately the split comes out onto Eternal Envy here. Lelis, he's on the back line to get the vision up for the fight. Meanwhile, the Roar comes out onto Envy. Can they blow him up in time? Gonna go to throw down the ultimate. And with the shackles there, they're going to keep him still. Envy can't even rage away from this one. And Royo has actually used the BKB, trying to get himself away with the Shadow Blade, but the dust is out onto him and Gunnar chasing him down. Royo just gets beaten up and torn apart by Team. 2 kills on both those cores. Team will throw out those voice lines because they just took another excellent engagement here.
Yeah, Flying Penguins trying really hard to be able to get a pick off before that Roshan pick, but Team knew exactly what they were doing. They were positioned perfectly for that engagement. Put all the squishy heroes behind, just so they wouldn't get engaged on. Alright, Smike stands at the front, breaks the smoke, just pops the ult and commits to the fight. He knows that Envy's not going to be by himself in that position.
That was one of the most kind of like action positions I've ever seen as well. They were like they were in formation, quite literally, ready for that smoke. Yeah.
They were ready. I reckon Alex Mike would be the pink Power Ranger, by the way.
Agreed. I don't think anybody would disagree with that as they come in. And they'll take themselves a tier 2 and probably more from this. I'm not too sure, though. Kunka's coming up in 15 seconds. Maybe they're going to play it safe, although they have just found themselves a double damage rune. Gunnar's going to come over and scoop that one up for himself.
I mean, this Midas seems to have paid off pretty well on the Monkey King, honestly. I doubted it a little bit before, but seems to have paid itself off already. And again, Monkey King's one of these heroes that benefits from the attack speed more than most. So, although it seems a little bit greedy, 40 attack speed, no joke.
I just said Snakes, I did. They've got Flea. They very much have Flea, and Nusham and Gunnar will find that kill. I mean, I don't know. Snakes drop for that? I guess it's worth it.
I was going to say, that's not too bad of a death for Flea. Like, you're pushing waves up and, you know, you're forcing rotations up towards you.
Yeah, you're already forcing rotation, then you get an ultimate out of it as well.
I mean, he's going for the Ags now on Nusham. It's about 2,000 gold away. He's going to be so tanky when he gets this Ags. And I really like that he's gone for a 4-staff instead of Blink this game. Especially when you have the Aether Lens, it's so easy to save your teammates. Especially when you're here against heroes like Lifestealer and Kunkka, which don't have necessarily good stuns. You have the slow from the Torrent, you have the slow from the open wounds. Being able to force people away is very valuable.
Yeah. So they will just keep on farming here, kind of ignoring this force of Team which is gathering up on the top side of the map as they rip through this tower and look for more. Gunnar leading the charge up onto the high ground here with that Aegis in his pocket. Snaking, going to throw out these Shakrams, see if he can keep them back a little bit, but I mean the tower is just not lasting very long here though. Smart Man will die.
They need this Kunkka. I mean, he's just TP'd back to base. They've already lost half HP on their tower.
Yeah, and then they're just going to back out. And like, okay, yeah, we did some damage to the tower. That's unhealable damage.
Okay, Kunkka just finished his AC before he TP'd back. That was why.
Okay. So has the AC, going for the Heaven's Halberd next. So a little bit late timing on the Heaven's Halberd, but still an important item all the same.
Do they look for something here, though?
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
When they get this Solar Crest on the Earth Spirit, that's going to be pretty big, actually. Having any kind of armor is really good up against his physical damage, like we've talked about.
They're just charging forwards on the side of Flying Penguins here. There's a no fear coming out from them. They will clear up this. No, the creeps nearly cleared up the zone. Meanwhile, up onto the high ground they go. They're actually turning it onto the Earth Spirit straight away. The Grave does come out, but they'll just keep him still and finish him off. Meanwhile, on the front side of the fight, Snaking trying to get himself away, but Gunner chasing the Roar comes out onto Snaking right now, but he has got a lot of stacks. But it doesn't matter. They're ripping through him all the time. They got the damage. They'll keep on beating into him and beating into him and beating into him, and finally, Snaking will go down, but God, that'd take a long time. But still, 105 seconds on that Timbersaw. Uh-oh. Flying Penguins may be flying out of this first series.
Did Flea just roll up onto the high ground without vision? And then he just died straight away?
He had his whole team behind him, but they were busy with protecting their ward. And now these snakes will come down on this tower as Gunner going deep and going on to Lelis Hill. Lelis trying to get himself away. Does have the Glimmer Cape to keep himself alive. They'll throw down the sentry, but that won't last very long. But there were some racks here, weren't there?
Somewhere.
I'm
sure they were there a second ago.
Just a crater remains as Team rip through the Radiant base, and they actually leave absolutely nothing standing as they're going to wrap around the bottom. Still 60 seconds on this Timber. He barely just died, and they're already tearing apart this base, but this is the power of the Visage. This is the power of the Beastmaster and the power of the Shaman as well. Put them all together. They do jump into Gunner, and they will get the quick kill onto him. And now they'll look towards Nusham as well. Nusham full stuffs himself down onto the low ground. Meanwhile, they respawn on Gunner. Immediately coming in with the Boundless Strike onto 3. Going to throw down the ultimate and the BKB. Trying to fight it up. Royo roared up as well. They'll be able to get the damage off, although the Grave does come out. Going to keep Royo alive for a little bit. Can they get him back to base? Royo's going to survive this one. Now they're just going to focus on these buildings here as they roll in onto Flea here, trying to blow him up quickly. Ix Mike has taken a fall, but Envy coming in, trying to blow up Brax here. Brax no ultimate to work with anymore, but they managed to get the Hex off, and now the Bird's going to work. They find the kill onto Envy. Flea going down as well. Team, they just turn it around once again, and 4 heroes dead. I think this game might be over.
What just happened?
They just turned. They just turned around, and they just beat Flying Penguins into the ground. And I mean, led by their ex-player Gunner. Still not sure what happened there, but...
I mean, they just committed everything onto Gunner, and he had the Aegis. So he just came back alive again, and then they went, oh, we can't do anything anymore. Visage had a Hex, which I didn't even realise as well. I think that took them by surprise a little bit.
Yeah, that Hex certainly came in nice, being comboing up with the Shaman as well. It's just a lot of lockdown, and they just keep Envy... I mean, and Snaking, he had such a good start to this game, and he just got beaten every single fight we saw him in. They were just able to bring him down and somehow finish him off.
I mean, the problem with this game is that if someone gets picked off from from Flying Penguins, or if they make a mistake, there was quite a few times there where they just overextended.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to fight into this team lineup if you get picked off one by one like that. I mean, yeah, Snaking had a great start, but then, a couple of bad deaths. Brax goes for the Spirit Vessel on the Beastmaster as well to deal with it. Really good itemization by Team. Wow. I'm very impressed. They did very well.
Yeah, very good game from them coming out there. And, it did look like the Flying Penguins were kind of ahead there. Do you remember that Roche fight where they all tried to commit onto Snaking? Snaking didn't die, and then he just turned it around with a huge torrent, huge boat, and Flying Penguins then took the Roche down. I was kind of counting Team out of it. I was like, they're gone. They don't stand a chance in this game. But
they didn't panic, though. They just sat back for a little while, just reset, got a few more items, and they just went in again. They played really well. I'm very impressed. Gunner on this Monkey King as well.
It's a scary, scary hero to have him on, and Gunner played really, really well there. Also, I like the scoreline at the end as well, 25-25. So dead even on the scoreline, but of course, when you've got the amount of push which Team had, then those kills make all of the difference. But yeah, a perfect example of what happens when you have this momentum-based lineup. You lose Roshan, but rather than getting worried and being like, oh god, we need to somehow fight into the Aegis, how do we do that? Just build a Midas on your Monkey King, take it slow, and then turn around and end the game in a very convincing fashion.
Team, if you look at their draft as well, like we said, if someone gets picked off from Flying Penguins, all they need to do is win one fight and they just take your buildings.
Yeah.
They all just disappear like we saw at the end. It's not like if you look at Flying Penguins lineup, for example, though, they take a little bit more, they take quite a lot longer to kill buildings, so they have to win more fights to be able to win the game. Whereas Team, you just take one fight, the game's just over.
Yep. Yeah, we did see that. I mean, not having buyback on snaking, and actually, I think he'd already bought back, so he had the big long cooldown, and Team was just like, yep, that's the only barrier stopping us from ending this game, and they just ran them down. Wow, what a game one from Flying Penguins versus Team. That does involve Team going 1-up, so let's see how Eternal Envy and his group of Penguins will be able to fight up in game number 2 as we move forward into this series, and who's going to make it through to the upper bracket, and who's going to get knocked down to face the loser of Complexity versus FaZe Clan, I think they call it, Mason Stack. Of course, if you want to catch that game, that's over on BTS2. We'll be back very shortly with Team versus Flying Penguins, match number 2.